Morning. It is April 24th, Tuesday, my 21st day on the trail. I just got rolling again. It rained all day yesterday and last night, and it just stopped about an hour ago. But I'm walking in a cloud, as you can see. That's all fog out there. Water's dripping from the trees. Had to put on wet socks and shoes. But once I got going, they're warming up, so it's okay. I did not want to put on new socks and have them get wet in 5 minutes. So here we go. Yesterday I didn't do much videoing because it was raining. I stopped I was gonna go to this one shelter and eat lunch, but it was 4/10 of a mile off, so I just sat on the hillside and had my sandwich. Have the other half of the sandwich today for lunch, somewhere down the line. It was cold, windy, and wet yesterday. The shelter was warm. It was very crowded though. And I had a top. There's 2 layers and I was on the top. And unfortunately, I did not have my earplugs with me. And I was right next to a woman who snored like a yodeling bullfrog. So I didn't go to sleep for a few hours. Eventually, I was probably so exhausted I passed out. And this morning had a Pop-Tart and some milk, and I'm on the move again. Let me see, I think it might be time for a poetry moment. Up to that point, my favorite poem was in the 8th grade. We had this poem by Elizabeth Bishop. The poem was called The Fish. It's about this guy latches onto this fish and he's fighting it for a long time, and the fish is really tough, and he eventually hauls it in the boat. And he's amazed at the size of this fish, and he looks it over really well, and it's old, and it fought the good fight, but it has like 4 different hooks and lines and partial lures in its jaw and its mouth, that it won those battles in the past. So anyhow, at the end of the poem, instead of keeping the fish, the guy let him go because he was such a warrior. Sometimes you gotta let them go if they deserve it. So, box turtle out. My pack feels kind of light today, and that's because I've eaten a lot of my food and I'm wearing some of my extra clothes. The path right now is like walking through a stream. There's supposed to be 1,500 bear in the Smoky Mountains, and I have not seen one yet. But I think that's because they're down low and I'm walking up on the ridge. The thing that bothers me the most physically once in a while is my left shoulder. I hurt it at work about 1.5 years ago, and I went through 8 physical therapy sessions. Yeah, I had a cortisone shot, said there was a slight tear. I could have gone back for more sessions, but I didn't. And it just aches once in a while from my shoulder strap. I think the lesson here is that discomfort is temporary, but quitting is forever. So keep going. There's a towhee in the tree there. Pretty bird. Well, I stopped for lunch at Crosby Knob Shelter. That was after 7.7 miles of walking. It cleared up, the sun started coming out. I stopped there for lunch, and then 3 more people showed up. One of them hung his tent out to dry. You know what happens when you hang things out to dry. The rain started, hasn't stopped since. I'm soaking wet, but I'm not cold, so I feel great. There's a shelter about 4 miles away. It's the last one before we get out of the Smokies. But if I go 5 more miles, 5.2 miles from here, I can get out of the Smokies. And I think, okay, I got a hold of the hostel, and they'll keep the light on for me. But I'm not 4 or 5 miles away. I'm more like 7 or 8 miles away. Once I get down to the gap, I have to walk another 3.3 miles, or I could call them and they could come and get me, but there's a charge there. And if I walk the 3.3 miles, I'll be a quarter mile away from where they're at, so I'm gonna do that. Oh, by the way, what's that? That is Dutchman's Breeches. Yesterday when I left Gatlinburg, there was a rainbow that came out, and briefly I took a picture of it, and shortly after that it was a lightning thunderclap. And while I was just about to peak this past mountain, my last one in the Rocky or Smokies, I heard a couple thunder bumpers, so I was hoping maybe it would just reverse itself and a rainbow would occur, but at least it's not raining anymore and it's not windy, so that's good. I'm gonna keep walking and go to that hostel. See you later. I'm about 1.5 miles away from my goal today, which is the Standing Indian Hostel. And this is the trail I'm taking to it. Been following this stream and I heard this waterfall. That's what it looks like. Goes down there. All that rain makes good waterfalls. This is a picture of Pigeon River. A lot of flowering trees over there. Looks like the water's up due to all the rain we've had. Very pretty. We're getting close to where we're gonna stay tonight. I ended up at Standing Bear Hostel. Went 18.1 miles today. Started at Tri-Corner Knob, walked all the way here. So I just took a shower in the shower room over there. Had a couple of beers. I'm having a fat tire. Everything's on the honor system here. You run a ledger and just keep writing down what you use. I'm paying 20 bucks to sleep in a bunkhouse tonight. There's the restroom. And I think there's some frozen pizzas and cheeseburgers coming somewhere. Here's where I'm staying tonight. Right there. They have a little general store up here, and they have a little laundry. I washed my clothes on a washboard, and they have a real dryer, so I'm gonna throw them in there once whoever's in there gets out. There's some guys playing games. There's you can get Wi-Fi in there. There's the general store up there. There's the washing machine in there. You do it by hand. So I'll get something to eat here, and then get a good night's sleep, and then we'll hit the trail again in the morning. Interesting place. My first hostel. Box turtle out. Day 21. April 24th. Tuesday. Good night.